G'day, guys. Welcome back to Supercoach with DR and welcome to the Round 12 review. Hope you had a crack of a weekend. I had an absolute ripper, I must admit, because my man Spills came down. We know he's been struggling a little bit lately. Very, very proud of him for asking for help, putting that out in public and talking about what he's going through. Very, very tough to do. Takes a lot of courage to do that. So great to catch up with Spills and my other Swordplay brother, Janeth, the nicest human I've ever met in my life, just the best man you'll ever meet. He came down on the Saturday as well. So three of us got to spend a little bit of time with each other, watch the footy. Unfortunately, games just weren't Supercoach relevant to us on the Saturday. It seemed like most of our players were on the Sunday, which was a little bit frustrating, but still enjoyed the watch. And yeah, I had a couple of drinks and just talk life, had a laugh as you always do. And so that was fantastic. And the big message here is if you are struggling, reach out to your mates, reach out to one of us. Make sure you don't bottle things up and ask for help. It is okay to ask for help. You'll be much better off for it. I guarantee you that. So great catch up with my brothers. And yeah, thanks to everyone that sent through some lovely messages, particularly to Spills as well. For Supercoach, let's get back to that. A 2058 for this week. And I didn't know where I was really sitting in regards to that round score, but end up going up 300 spots, which is really nice. Inside the top 1,500 now. Goal, as you know, is to be inside the top 1,000 at the end of the buys. But one thing you really need to keep in mind when you are looking at the rankings is that you'll tend to have maybe one or two really good buys, okay-ish, and then usually there's the one buy that's looking a little bit dicey. So in regards to the rankings, if you have dipped this week, don't worry too much because you may be set up a little bit better than some other coaches for the upcoming buys that we've got as well. So with your trades, I really like the idea of trading into players that have just come off the buy. So in the Swordplay potty this week, we'll be talking about the big six premiums that we think you could look to trade in, players that are coming off their buy. And who are we going to look to downgrade to? Well, fingers crossed, we've got a couple of good options this week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of my trade-in thoughts. I'm going to look at one of the big six, absolutely. And will I downgrade? I think that I will in order to try to be able to keep the upgrade cadence going after this week as well and try to complete the team around, say, around 15 or 16. That's probably the plan at the moment, but we'll see how we go. But that's it for the intro, guys. Hope you had an awesome weekend yourself. Let's see how the team's actually looking. All right, now I better start with my trades from last week because I did make, well, not a real last minute change, but certainly something that I had not had in my plans at all. So, as we know, Jordan Sweet didn't play. He got dropped. I just thought, he's gone, had enough of him. He's got the bye coming up anyway, so he won't be getting a game unless there's an injury to Soldo, and then he'll be competing with Vicentini anyway. So there you go, Jordan. And in came Neddy Moyle. So Jared Witts was obviously out for this week. The talk was that he's a test for the week after, so this week coming. So this was a little bit of a risk, and it certainly still is. I don't know if it's paid off yet. Short term after this week, I'm happy. Ask me after next week and I'll be able to tell you. But the idea here was to hopefully get 2 games from Moyle. He'll be able to play. Then I'll trade him out at his buy and hopefully he'll make around 110 to 120K. That would be good enough. I'd use that to then upgrade to one of my final premiums. So fingers crossed that Witsy has a rest. What I'm thinking is that they've got the buy the next week. So why not give the big fella a big rest? We know that Ned Moyle, former VFL Ruckman of the Year, they might want to give him some exposure because I reckon he'll look to be getting out of the Suns, hopefully getting a number 1 role somewhere in the AFL. Not too sure where that will be, but if I was Neddy, I'd probably want to get out. He's stuck behind Jared Witts at the moment, and I reckon that would be the idea here. Or even if you, from the Suns' perspective, go, look, we still want you here, Neddy. There's a chance for you. Witts is aging. Your chance will come. Here's another week for you. Yeah, I just want to see another week for Moyle. If I don't get another week, it's probably a failed pick. So I took a little bit of a risk there. And so Darcy was the other one. So Sam Darcy was out and I got Jolie Boy in. I just thought with that break even, I didn't mind the matchup. And I'd tell you what, if it wasn't for those early, suspension, the 50 clangers, all the rest, had a terrible first quarter. If it wasn't for that, he could have probably hit that break even. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy. Jolie Boy played a solid game. He went up as well. So all good with my trades at the end of the day. Just need Moyle to play. So that's what I did there. Sorry, I need to have a drink. My voice is absolutely going at the moment. I'm not sick, I don't think. It's just in being a PE teacher, we've got this huge gym. I'm just projecting my voice all the time. It's absolutely killing me after the Monday. But we'll quickly go over these players and then get into trade. So defense this week was really, really solid, to tell you the truth. So Dacos with 156, Ryan with 124, Dale really impressive with 132. He's probably the biggest pod out of the lot here. The sexy man came back, triple figures. I just love this pick. All of a sudden, I'm thinking potential forward keeper. We need to see what happens after the buy and when Power comes back, yada, yada, yada. But at this stage, I really like the look of him as a forward keeper. That will save me having to make an extra trade there as well, maybe to do a luxury type thing. Martin is a little bit of a concern. After the first quarter, I think he had the most touches on the ground, but really faded off after that. The good and the bad that we usually see with Martin in regards to efficiency. So slightly concerning, but, I could own a Tom Stewart, who I'd be even more concerned about here. So as a whole, pretty happy here. And then the Shees obviously didn't play as well. This is a concern. Now, I was planning on potentially having Reed for the buys, and I did hear that it was actually a chance to play. Was it this week? The week? No, sorry, the week after. Unfortunately, now he's injured. So what do I do here? I can't believe I've actually got through the whole season with these two blokes not playing in Hoare and Reed. So do I correct him? It's just a killer because I've made no cash. So we'll see what happens there. But at the moment, I'm probably just going to leave them there for this stage. Now, I got a little bit lucky here. Now, big shout out to P. James, or B. James P., I think it is, username on YouTube. I was doing a live stocky, what was this, must have been on the Friday night, because I couldn't export it on this old laptop. So I uploaded to YouTube, long story, so I did a live. But he came through with a bit of inside info. I think it was his roommate, his best mates with Gallagher from the Bulldogs, or I forget what the exact connection was, but very reliable, this bloke. Lovely bloke, regular contributor to the channel, and he said that he's going to tag Dacos. And so I thought, geez, got some cold feet on Dacos as a VC, because I thought all week he's going to be the man. But last minute, like I'm talking right last minute, I thought, right, I'm going to go somewhere different here to the majority of the top 1%. I think it was around 50% that had him either VC or captain. And I thought, I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Bond. Dacos could get tagged. And look, at the end of the day, Dacos had an absolute laugh. Like, Gallagher did nothing here. But the Bont, what a last quarter it was. Like, hats off to the man. He absolutely carried this team home, and one of the best quarters you'll see. So to get him as a VC over lots of people that had Dacos was phenomenal this week. So really, really happy there. Sarong had a very quiet start, but got a little bit better as the game went on, but nothing fantastic from him. He'll be a great target after the bye. Zeret been super disappointing, 97, but it is what it is. I suppose it's better than having Matt Crouch if you're looking at a glass half full approach. Walsh, I'm actually glad this week I owned Sam Walsh for the first time, because it was Walsh v Dawson, as you've been knowing. You're sick of hearing this, but very, very happy this week because Dawson absolutely stunk it up. We know that's due to most likely his foot injury that he's been carrying. Fitness test before the game. Didn't do a max scorn, which I was absolutely wrapped with. The old fitness test didn't actually work this time. But yeah, Sam Walsh, happy with a 111. The clangers and the efficiency just absolutely kills you. But at the same time, I'll take it for this week over Dawson. Clary, I am actually getting concerned about. He really passed the eye test for probably 2-3 weeks, but really didn't this week. And realistically, if I can get Sexton as that F6 for the year, I may look to maybe not trade him, but maybe look to get an M9 in this year and maybe try to loop him each week. But we'll see what happens with Clary, just not really looking like it after last week. Wilson, a little bit disappointing here, but look, is he the favourite for the Rising Star? He's definitely got to be up there now, doesn't he, after poor old Harley? Oh, not poor old Harley. Harley did what he did, but 54, it's a little bit concerning now because he's getting close to a must trade out. I don't want to leak too much coin from Darcy. I don't want to just hold, and then he leaks. So we'll see what happens this week with Wilson. Closey's in a bit of a similar position. I think it was his score that actually dropped off for me this week. These blokes didn't play. Be good to have them on. Gone with the 95. It is what it is. Everyone's got him. Already talked about Nettie Moyle, so got better as the game went on, I think. Didn't see the type of scoring we saw from him the last couple of weeks, but still, the way that I saw it, I thought I'll be really happy with an 80 plus, really, really happy with a 90 plus. Anything more than that, I'd be stoked. So 77, that's fine, I think. Zorks didn't play. Flans all got him with a 119. Doggo was a little bit unlucky, I think. Had 3 goals, 2. If he had a kick straight, that would have been over 100. But look, if he goes 90 plus, I'm not complaining, particularly when Shrek's in the side as well. This was so good. Finally, Nat came home with a decent score. Faded out a little bit in the second half. I think it was particularly that third quarter. But, oh, man, to get 100 plus from him, I thought I'm going to keep on to him. He's going to be good cover during the buys. Hopefully we hit 100 again. He wasn't looking likely for 3 weeks. I was hating owning Fife, but now he's got this score. Hopefully he can reset some of that cash again, and after this week, cover for the next 2 trickier buys. So very happy with that for this week anyway. And good that he's having a buy. So he'll be able to have a rest now, and hopefully he won't be subbed or be managed for, well, until I need him. Let's just put it that way. Jolly Boy with 66. That's all good. Take that. Making cash. Sweet. Didn't score as well as Darcy, but if you look at how much coin he went up and all that sort of stuff, you put that in perspective, still happy there. Darcy's not going to be playing for the next couple of weeks either, so very unlucky if you held. Hugo, no on earth what's happening here. Sorry, I'm struggling with the voice. I'm trying to get through this quick. Fish in play, and Richards, dang, super unlucky. He had a bit of a rant at Spilsy on the Swordplay potty last week about that. Bloody lucky if he didn't go there. So, good thing for this week. We've actually got 323k, so we can do a fair bit. We've got a fair bit to play with. Let's optimize the team and get the blokes on that we need. So, Luke, and just on Luke Ryan as well, he's such a fun own. Spills and I are watching the game, and literally he wouldn't be in the screen, and we're going, go back to Rhino, go back to Lukey, the peroxide the peroxide king. Back they go to him. He's just always around, and we were just cheering for every possession. We were actually at the point at one time, it was like uncontrollable laughter because we just predicted like he'll be there. And yes, he was. He's such a great own. Super frustrating if you don't own Luke Ryan. Like, man, yeah, it'd be so tough. But anyway, so I'm missing Ryan, Butters, Sarong, Fife, Jackson this week as your primos. So, all right. We're 1 down here with Reed, but that's all good. Got all these blokes playing. 2 rucks are playing. Don't think Garcia will play. So we're probably looking at 20 at this stage, which is all good. Like this is easy buy. I'll change that for you there as well. And might make myself slightly. Which one is it? That one there. All right. So if we look at some break evens here. Obviously taking the buys into account. Don't want to get rid of anyone that's currently on the bench unless you're looking to get rid of a whore and get into a LACH, which is an option that I do have. But at this stage, Closey's got a break even of 70. Definitely a candidate to get out because 14's a tricky buy for me. So that would be good to be able to move him on. I'm not moving Sexton. Wilson's the other one. So break even of 98, getting very close. He could look to just bugger off Hugo, but frustratingly, Graham came back and made a little bit more coin for those that held on to him, which was good last week. His score probably wouldn't have counted for you, but coin is always good. You could go there. Richards is another one who's a dead rookie. You don't like having these dead rookies during the buy. Do you just cop this cash loss from a Wilson for a Closey type and just get rid of some dead wood? You could. That's an option that you've got up your sleeve. The issue for me here is if I trade out either Reed or Hoare for a LACH, then I'm actually paying up for him, which is not what I want to do at the moment. So I think at this stage, it's going to be, it might be Closey and Wilson. Round 13 player, round 14 buy player, and then round 15. So very quickly, if I just go to 14. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And they're all 100% guaranteed. Well, unless they get injured, they're all solid. Nothing there. 11. Let's just say I've got Wilson 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'll be able to trade into that. That's actually not as bad as what I thought. So if I can move Closey on, that'll be 17. I may have a plan for this if I need to do it as well, which would give me potentially 18. But again, we don't know which rookies are keeping their spots. And then round 15 for me, he's there, so one down. Geez, I'm stacked there. That's fine. He'll be gone by then anyway. Geez, 15's looking okay for me at the moment. So, all right, let's clear the buys and make some trades here. So, is it going to be Closey Wilson? So they play each other at Marvel. Okay. Probably the more sensible thing would be to get rid of Wilson because you got more coin there. He's got the high break even. But again, who am I more confident in scoring well? I'm more confident in Wilson over Closey. So let's just get this round 14 buy player out at the moment. We've got 648K. So that will really, let's just go by highest price, 649. So it gives me anyone but Adam Treloar in the midfield. So I can really go shopping this week if I want to spend it all. I don't want to, but we'll see how we go. So I'm not going Treloar. Then you're looking at who here? Libba. All right. I'll tell you what I'm just going to do straight away is I'm just going to filter to the teams I'm looking at. So we're going Sydney, Brisbane. They're coming off the bye. GWS and North. And we're looking at midfielders at the moment. Okay. So you've obviously got Lachie Neale, number 1. Number 2 is Chad Warner. 3, Josh Dunkley. Noda Jelly. 4, you've got LDU. And then 5 for me is Errol. I'm not interested in any other midfielders. Sorry. And your other one is Tom Green. That's not for me, though. I'm obviously known as. So they're the boys that we'll be talking about in great detail in the Swordplay potty in the stock market as well. Apart from them, there's really no one. Come McKercher if he comes back. There's really no one else. I want to complete the midfield here. So, Lachie Neale. Let's have a look at Lachie Neale. So, break even of 83. He's actually got the highest average of the players that I'm looking to bring in. Chad Warner's got the best 3-round average. So, you look at his scores as a whole here. So, 112, 129, 125, 109, 109. Very solid start. But I wouldn't call that captain worthy, if you know what I mean. Like no big ceiling type things. Then we go down to a 71. So his first sub-ton, worst score of the year. We've just seen his floor. Right after his floor, we see his ceiling with a 168 against the Suns. Bang, more of a floor type game, a 79 against the Crows. And then bang, one up to a 162 against the Tigers. So we've gone floor, ceiling, after 5 really consistent games. So I know that in the round 7 game against the Giants that he received a little bit of attention from Callan Ward. I can't even remember what happened in the LA game. Did someone tag him? I can't even remember. I apologize. I'll need to look into that. Richmond obviously killed it as you'd expect and then played the Hawks last week. Brisbane just terrible. Sorry, not last week, the week before. All right, so not too bad so far. We look at the upcoming fixture and we've got the Dogs at Marvel. I don't think that they'll well, if you get Gallagher on him, then he's probably going to go 130 plus. The Saints, do you have Windhager maybe? Maybe a concern. Do you have William Drew here? At Port, traditionally, they have liked to tag Lachie Neale. Remember how they're going to terrorise Lachie Neale and Brisbane absolutely smashed him out of the park. Remember Mitch Robbo looking back and going at the bench. That was awesome, that game. Love that game. Pulled their pants down. Embarrassed them that game. Then you got the D's, Adelaide, West Coast, Sydney. The Suns, who we scored really well against. The Saints weren't going too well, but Windy, I'm not too sure. Giants, who didn't score too well against Collingwood, and then Essendon. So Essendon he actually loves playing against. I was actually there when he scored almost a 200 against them. So Lachie Neale's one of my boys as well. So don't mind the Neale selection. Chad Warner's the next one. So look at that break even, 35 from the Chad, looking to go up 46K this week. That's what they're going to project anyway. If you look at history, so not great here against Geelong, But this is 2024 and Geelong have a terrible midfield. Look at his 3-round average. He is absolutely on fire, Chad. So I'm not looking at this history and really going to worry too much. 123 there at the SCG. He's going to be playing them at the SCG as well. 95, 110, 94. Okay, against Adelaide. And then seems to like to play the Giants as well. Remember, these games back here, I'm not like this is back in 2021. So I'm not going to look too much into that sort of stuff. So interesting. So similar to Neil for the first 3 weeks, 118, 125, 102, not captain worthy, but still you're going to take it. Average of 115. Then we see a 3-week stretch here where he sub tons for 3 weeks. And this is probably what concerns me about Chad Warner. And we're thinking with the opposition here, particularly West Coast and Hawthorn, that these are the teams you probably score well against. Richmond. 73, 96, and an 81. So over that period, we're not looking fantastic. Then we see a 135, all good, 100, then 99, 172, 144. Obviously in real good form here. The issue for me is before that 99, 100, 135 is nice, and then 81, 96, 73. So if you look at, just say you take out these 2 games, I'm not just going to take them out, but just for context, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 games, he got, well, what's that? You say 200 plus. And when we say 100 plus, it's literally on 100. Then you argue this to 99. I understand that, but we're not talking fantastic numbers from this stretch, are we? Really? So I'm a little bit concerned here that I'm just going to be, and I know the break even is low at the moment, but I'm paying up like he was 544 back here not too long ago and not looking like someone that we'd consider whatsoever. So that's my concern with Warner. He does have a really nice matchup this week against Geelong, then Adelaide. We know that he traditionally actually scores well against GWS, and we do take this into account a lot more because we know they play each other twice a year. And they're the team you'll see Sydney play the most. So Freo, Saints, North, Brisbane Bulldogs. Yeah, do you know what? He's in red hot form. Where he's been going so well is his goals. He's just been kicking goals. Look at that. 1, 3, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this 3, 4 sustainable though? So we had his 3, which is his 4th highest score for the first 6 rounds when he kicked his 3. If he's ever going to kick another 3, 4, it's probably going to be against Geelong, isn't it? Let's be honest. So, yeah, look, I just don't know if he's going to continue to be up there with the Ubers. Josh Dunkley, I like Neil more than Dunkley. I'll just say straight out, I think. So, look at his history there. Geez, dicey against Port Adelaide, isn't it? So 101, 113, 96, 122, 122, 98, 120, bang, 163, 89, 115, 99. So he's actually had less sub-tons than Chad, 96, 98, 89, 99. And still when you're talking sub-tons, mid-90s, high 90s, very high 90s, basically 90 there. So Dunkley has a relatively good floor. We're probably not seeing the ceiling though, are we? We've got 3 over the 120, then that big monster there. So, yeah, same fixture as Neil. The floor's better than Neil, but he's only had those 2 sub-tons. We've seen a couple of bigger ceiling games from him. So I'm probably, and the price difference isn't really that much, so I'm probably a little bit more of a fan of Neil, I think there. You've got the real budget vibe, but given the fact I've already got, there's question marks over Green. I rate Tom Green higher than others. So I'm not as worried on Tom Green as what others are. But you look at current form, it's hard to deny. Geez, against West Coast, so he's coming up 127, 143. No idea what happened with this 27. Memory isn't that good. 149 against Collingwood. 106 against Melbourne. So most recent scores against the 3 upcoming opponents look nice. It's really, it's a 3-week stretch, isn't it, to be honest? Look, 105, 101, fantastic, but 67, 88, 87. And then bang, his lowest score after that's 90. Last three, 117, 152, 109. Looking a lot better. West Coast, Collingwood, Melbourne, Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Sydney. So he plays West Coast twice, plays Richmond, plays Hawthorn, who are not easy beats. So maybe I shouldn't even be counting Hawthorn anymore. Plays Geelong. Tell you what, if I didn't, could I do a wacky move? Nah, I couldn't. Just for giggles. Nah, I don't think I could. No, I was going to say, could I grab LDU, trade Oliver out this week? Break even of 134. Then I'll have 590. Not quite. That'd be pretty crazy anyway, I think. All right, so you've got obviously LDU there, which you can go. And then I'm probably not keen on Errol, to be honest. Probably rather LDU, I think. Latest history, 124, 109, 95. 77, 109, 149, 73, 129, 98, 114. Couple of 90s, 82, 131. Yeah, I'm just not loving the role. Enough CBAs to me. He's 535. Yeah, probably not. All right, so I think realistically, at this stage, I'm looking to go Lockie Neal. This could change. I'm going to do a lot more research into this. I need a lot more time, but I think it's going to be Neal. The issue is, do I also look to do a downgrade? Now, again, I've got a couple of options. Could I just look to make bulk cash here and trade Wilson out? If I do that, 438, I could trade out a Richards. I'd have 247. Or could I even do it? I don't reckon I could even afford it. Bugger, 190. I can't even do that if I go close to Neil. I could if I got Wilson out instead of Closey, maybe. I'm a little bit worried. How many games does he get? Luckily, so negative 55 for break even. What was his first? $53.61. Okay, so if he scores 70 the next couple of weeks, he's making 56.45. So make 110. 69's achievable. Just worried that he's one bad game away from just being out. Am I stuck with just a more expensive? Not as well. He's not nowhere near as dead as the other two, is he? Reed with injury and Hall just won't get in. Do you know what I'm thinking? What I'm thinking I might do. I hate doing this because I dead set reckon Richards has got a chance to come back on that side. He played that well. I hope Hugh goes back at some stage. What I might do, I don't have to do this, but we'll see. Sorry, this video is going way longer than I was expecting anyway. This is the bloke here. I think it's the obvious one if he plays. Will Dawson. It also gives me that link, and potentially, I'd probably rather link back here though. Get rid of one of these guys maybe and get that same link. And that way, I've got Sexton that can cover this position here, which I'd like. But then again, it's only 65K for the next week, which makes things tough. If you do something like even a Wilson, you've got 320 all of a sudden. Yeah, so this is a big decision for me. And look, Richards isn't losing any money, whereas I think Wilson probably will, although you're getting an extra chance of a score for Wilson. Born bodies during the buy zone. All right, for now I'm going to do this, and this may completely change because I probably should. What else can I get? It's just if I did trade Wilson, how much coin have I got? 533. I don't need a. Sorry, I'll just clear these filters. So I've got all the available players. Can't really afford anything there, can I? Dylan Moore. No, I don't think so. I'd probably rather go maybe Charlie after his buy. No, okay, I'm not going to do that. No, do you know what I will do, actually? I think I will need to do this. I'm not really adding extra bodies, though. Yeah, all right. I think I might actually get out of Wilson. Complete them. It's if Dawson plays. Like, if Dawson doesn't play, I'll look at other rookies. I probably should have looked at other rookies, but I thought, look, we're going to do the Swordplay pod, and I'm doing the stock market as well. So we'll just do that for now. Now, the reason why I say this, and the other player I was looking to get, I think I mentioned in the intro that I couldn't get a particular player I was looking to get. It was going to be Brodie Grundy in the ruck, but I thought now that I've got Moyle here, I can't really do that. So if I've got now 320 in the bank, Moyle's already at 266, and he's looking to go up, hopefully, with an 80, 50K. So it'll be over 300. That'll give me ample money to get Brodie Grundy. So that's the most likely move for next week. Although I can just keep on moving Dogger up if I want. Or else the other one is to complete the defense here. So the fish would go up to the forward line, and then I'd complete that. And it's either going to be Houston or Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark's the other guy Spills and I were looking at like a hawk on the weekend, having a bit of a laugh with him as well, like the amount of ball that he gets. And we said to ourselves as well, if you own both of them, you'll pretty much get every kick out, every attacking kick out of the fence. So I think that'd be like a really nice combo to own. You pair them two together, and yeah, you're getting bulk points, I think. So it may not be Dan Houston anymore. And the other thing is that I'm happy to have an extra pod here. I've got Dale that's, I think, about 25% owned, the top 1%. So I'm happy to have an extra pod like Clark with high upside. And Nass even would be nice with that Marvel run. So yeah, potentially next week, it's going to be Grundy in the rucks or Jordan Clark or Houston here, depending on how I want to go. So they are the trades, guys, for the week. And quickly with Capitanos. All right, so I've got Adelaide v Richmond. Doesn't do anything for me. Dogs versus the Lions. Do you just go with the Bont? I wouldn't go Lockie Neal on debut. I'm just always worried about that. So possibly the Bont as a VC against my boys at Marvel. Hawks and Giants. I haven't got enough faith in Green at the moment. West Coast and North. She's the Fish. Nah, not going there. The Saints versus Gold Coast. Yeah, Flanders is too safe for a VC. If you just want a really safe captain, I guess you could go him. Sydney versus Geelong. Oh, yes, Mr. Isaac Heaney v Geelong. They'll probably chuck, a Mark O'Connor, or they chuck the blitz on him, maybe. Because the blitz could go down and follow him. Yeah, look, potentially. I've heard that Zeret is going to get tagged this week. And then, Melbourne Collingwood. Yeah, cool. All right. So we've got Sunday, Monday. Awesome. So this is going to be Isaacini into Dacos for me. And then you've got, just do that. So that way we've got the captain there. Yeah, beautiful. So bodies for this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, hopefully 21. That'd be nice. All right, guys, that is it for this week. Thank you very much for joining me again. Apologies with the quality of the voice. As I said, I'm absolutely losing it, and it's only a Monday, so that's a bit of a concern when I've got the podcast tomorrow night and then the stocky coming up. A big week ahead of me, but all good. Janet gave me a few natural remedies to take care of the throat about a week ago, so may give some of them a go. Very clever man, as I said. So get that into me, and I'll be right for tomorrow night. So that's it now, guys. All the best of luck. See you soon for the swordplay, and then for the stocky. All the best. Bye.